Hello, boys and ghouls, it's Matthew again, doing a reading this time of Modifications, a story by a friend of mine. You can find the link in the description. It's pretty good, full of little short stories. You should go read it. I will be reading chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 1. The Revel. Perched on the rooftop of the most stable building, she sat, looking out upon her kingdom. All right, it wasn't really her kingdom in reality, but she thought that she used to be an imaginative girl, and so she kept the streak up. Through the tainted vision of the old gas mask she'd scavenged from the place called the World Wars Museum, she scoured each crevice of her city, searching for any signs of the goblins coming back. If they came back, she'd have to alert the guards and run down to the 5th floor in order to protect the royal hoard. Like I said, imaginative. But of course, those scurvy dogs didn't dare show their ugly faces again. A smart decision on their part after how badly she had got them beaten the last time they'd threatened the peace. Teach them to mess with the queen in her kingdom. She pulled off the mask from her face, and for a moment, forgetting that very morning she had declared a warning to her court that there would be a dangerous cloud of smog rolling in the afternoon, and let her dark hair blow in the small breeze. The air had a metallic smell to it, but she had grown accustomed to that by now. Without the tainted sight of the old masks, she could see a lot clearer now, yet those fiends still dare not show. She smiled. All seemed to be in order. Satisfied, she stood up from her perch and made her way down the catwalk she and her butler had constructed that led down to the only working stairwell. Conveniently, it also served as transportation from the ride route to almost every of the 12 floors. She was very proud of this accomplishment, and had awarded the butler for his great help on many occasions. Down and down and down she went until she finally came to the royal chambers. They were a marvelous sight to behold, great in size and decoration. In the very back of the room there was a throne fit for any young queen, where her citizens would often crowd around her with loving eyes. There were elegant drapes, a place for tea parties, and a lavish bed. What more could a queen desire? As she stepped through the wooden doorway, she announced in a booming voice, "Her Highness, the Revel, Queen of the Kingdom, has returned to have tea with her lovable subjects." At this they would of course come rushing at her, all naturally wanting to give their ruler a greeting. She smiled once more. Her subjects loved her. That was all that counted. She didn't need to understand why someone had thought it fit to infuse her with mechanical wings. That didn't work, for that matter. She just needed them. The Revel picked up one of her subjects, for they were surprisingly small in size, and with the others following loyally, she strode over to her throne. There she sat and read out of the royal library to her beloved people, after which she poured hot tea for each and every one of them. A bit later they all gathered for the royal dinner, and after that she kissed each and every one of them good night, and tucked them in before she herself retired to her bed. Overhead there were stars she had commissioned her magicians to inlay, as a birthday present. Now, as she did each night, she wished upon the first star her eyes grazed over. "Please, keep my people safe another day." She turned over and closed her eyes. Yes, that was all she needed. Chapter 2. The Remembrance. The Remembrance hated the fact that the cold followed him everywhere. Why him, of all people? What had he done to deserve such an awful curse? To never feel the warmth that all humans possess for no more than 1 second? Or was he really human anymore? Hard to say. He'd been wandering long enough to have forgotten the ways of the humans. He'd seen too many things that messed with your mind to try and make sure he was still the same species that he had started out as. What was that, again? Was human the label that had been stamped on him the moment he was born? Or was there some other label there? He'd never know. He cracked his eyes open slowly, literally. He'd overslept, and the ice had begun to crawl over his face once more. He swore silently as he got up, still in pain. Why couldn't the modification he'd been fitting with be no need for sleep? Ah, well, nothing he could do now. Remembrance never needed to pack anything, mainly because he didn't start out with much and never accumulated things. This was just the way he was, moving from place to place, only caring about the memories with him. Is that where he got his name? Probably. The Remembrance scanned the horizon, looking over the hills, the ruins, everything that passed his view. He thought he remembered this place from years before, but then again he had travelled over most of the land fit to travel, and even some of the land that wasn't fit at all to set foot on. But this place... Oh no. No, 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 no. This couldn't be. His heart began to beat as fast as it could, that is, within the cold aura that his body emitted. This couldn't be home. But as he examined the ruins once more and more memories came flooding back, running through the gates that held the vast reservoir of past events in his mind. The ghosts came flying back at him. Mother. Father, no. No, 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 no. He started backing up, and soon was flying across the landscape, taking away the cold frost from the landscape as soon as his presence left. There was one place that he refused to remember, refused to wander through. Home. After a long time of running, the remembrance, breathless, halted and bent over to take a few heaving breaths. He should be safe from them now, right? The ghost shouldn't follow him out here, right? They're not going to make him remember. Remember the things he cannot, must not remember. I know I stumbled.